The moment he lay beneath the sheets, he felt it, a sharp sting, a heat spreading through his body. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. His pulse raced. Who had done this, and why? Did his love betray him? A mistake, a warning, or something far darker? Every breath hurt, every second burned, but he refused to give in. He wasn't going down without a fight. Welcome to Tales Around the World. Here, we uncover the original versions of stories you may think you know. These fairy tales are not only beautiful, wise, and thrilling, but also, at times, gruesome and dark. Passed down through generations, these tales reveal the deeper truths, hidden within the shadows of old folklore. Viewer discretion is advised. Some stories may contain themes not suitable for children under 13, so sit back, relax, and let us guide you through the magical, haunting, and unforgettable world of Tales Around the World. There was once a king with two daughters, Kupti and Imani. He adored them both and spent long hours talking with them. One day he turned to his eldest, Kupti, and asked,
"Are you content to entrust your life and your fortune to me?"
Kupti, startled by the question, answered at once, "Of course. Who else should I trust but you?" But when he asked Imani the same question, her answer shocked him.
"No,"
she said calmly.
"If I had the chance, I'd make my own fortune."
The king's face hardened.
"You are far too young to understand what you're saying,"
he scolded.
"But so be it. You shall have the chance you want."
He immediately summoned an old, poor fakir who lived on the outskirts of the city in a crumbling hut. When the fakir arrived, the king told him,
"You are old and nearly crippled. Surely you would welcome someone young to help you. I will send my daughter Imani to live with you. She insists on earning her own living. Let her begin with you."
The poor fakir could hardly speak from shock, but the young princess only smiled. She walked beside him cheerfully as he hobbled back home in puzzled silence. The moment they reached his shabby hut, the fakir anxiously wondered what he could possibly offer her. He had almost nothing: a single bedstead, 2 battered cooking pots, and an earthen water jar. But before he could speak, Imani asked,
"Do you have any money at all?"
"A penny somewhere,"
he said.
"Good,"
she replied.
"Give it to me. Then go borrow a spinning wheel and a loom."
After rummaging around, the fakir found the penny and gave it to Imani before he set off on his errand. Imani meanwhile went shopping. She bought a farthing's worth of oil and 3 farthings worth of flax. When she returned, she sat the old man on the bed and rubbed his crippled leg with oil for an hour. Then she sat at the spinning wheel and worked all night, spinning the finest thread anyone had ever seen. In the morning, she took the thread to the loom and wove until evening, producing a shimmering silver cloth.
"Now,"
she told the fakir,
"go to the market and sell this for 2 gold pieces."
and so he did. Kupti, passing by, saw the cloth and eagerly paid the price. The fakir returned home with the gold, and Imani continued the same routine day after day. A penny for oil and flax, hours of spinning and weaving, caring for the fakir's crippled leg, and selling each beautiful cloth for high prices. Soon the city was famous for these extraordinary fabrics. The fakir's leg grew stronger, and the hole beneath the hut's floor, where they stored their earnings, filled with gold. At last, Imani told him,
"I think we have enough now to live more comfortably."
She sent for builders, and soon a beautiful house stood in place of the old hut, finer than any in the city except the king's palace. When the king heard whose home it was, he exclaimed,
"Well, she said she'd make her own fortune, and she truly has."
A short time later, the king had to travel to another country. Before leaving, He asked Kupti what gift she wanted.
A ruby necklace.
She replied. Then he sent a messenger to ask Imani what she desired. The messenger arrived just as she was struggling to untangle a knot in her loom.
The king asks what gift you want him to bring from Dur.
He announced. Still focused on her work and irritated by the knot, she said.
Patience.
Meaning, wait a moment. But the messenger took it as her answer and returned to the king, saying,
Princess Imani asks for patience.
The king frowned.
I don't know if patience can be bought, but if it exists, I'll find it.
In Dur, he bought Kupti her ruby necklace, then sent a servant into the market crying,
Patience for sale. Does anyone have patience to sell?
People mocked him. Some told him to stop being ridiculous, others thought he was mad. Eventually, word reached King Subar Khan of Dur, who laughed and said,
Bring this fool to me.
When the servant explained his mission, King Subar, whose name itself meant patience, smirked and said,
I know of some patience the young lady may have, though it isn't something that can be bought.
He went to his chamber, took a small casket, placed a fan inside, and returned.
This casket has no lock.
He said.
It opens only for the person who needs what's inside. Whoever opens it will receive patience, though I'm not sure it's the kind she expects.
The servant brought the strange gift back to Imani's country. When Imani received the casket, she was baffled.
But I didn't ask for anything. The messenger ran off before he could get an answer.
Still, she examined the casket. The old fakir tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. When he handed it to Imani, the lid opened effortlessly. Inside lay a beautiful fan. Delighted, she lifted it and fanned herself 3 times. And suddenly, King Subar Khan appeared in the room. The fakir was speechless. Imani could only gasp. The king explained that the fan and casket were magical. 3 strokes of the fan summoned him. 3 taps of a folded fan sent him home. Though Imani wanted to send him away at once, the fakir enjoyed his company, and soon the king was visiting often, staying up late playing chess. A room in the house was even called the king's room, for whenever he stayed late and needed a room to sleep for the night before leaving the next morning. When Kupti heard a handsome, wealthy young man was visiting her sister, jealousy consumed her. She came pretending affection and admiration for her sister, but secretly she slipped into the king's room and scattered poisoned glass dust beneath his bed sheet. That night, Subar Khan stayed late, then went to bed. The moment he lay down, thousands of tiny poisoned splinters pierced his skin. Burning pain shot through him. But he said nothing, suffering the whole night in silence, believing he had been betrayed in Imani's own house. In the morning, he returned to Dur using the fan and summoned every physician. None could diagnose his mysterious agony. Weeks passed, and he grew weaker and weaker, nearly dying. Meanwhile, Imani and the fakir were distressed that the king no longer appeared, no matter how many times they waved the fan. At last, tormented by worry, Imani disguised herself as a young male fakir and set out for Dur on foot. One evening, she rested under a great tree in the forest. As she lay awake with worry, she overheard 2 monkeys speaking above her. One said,
The king of Dur is dying.
The other replied,
Birds say he lies poisoned by glass the Princess Kupti placed in his bed.
The first answered.
If only they knew, berries from this very tree, boiled in hot water, would cure him in 3 days.
Imani sat up, wiped her tears, and at dawn gathered as many berries as she could carry. She hurried to Dur, crying through the marketplace.
Medicine for sale. Who needs healing?
Some mocked her youth, but she was eventually taken to the palace. The king was so ill she hardly recognized him. She asked for a private room and a pot of boiling water. She steeped the berries and instructed the attendants to wash the king with the mixture. After the first washing, he slept peacefully. After the second, he was hungry. After the third, he was healed, only weak from all he had endured. On the fourth day, he sat upon his throne and summoned the young fakir who had cured him and offered her payment for his recovery. Imani refused all rewards except his signet ring and handkerchief. With these, she hurried back home. When she returned, she used the magical fan to summon Subar Khan. He appeared, and they asked why he had stayed away so long. He told them of his poisoning and his miraculous recovery. Imani rose, retrieved the ring and handkerchief, and teased,
Are these the gifts you gave your doctor?
The king stared, recognized her at once, and finally understood everything. Overjoyed, he declared that he would return to his kingdom only if she came with him as his wife. And so Imani and the old fakir travelled to Dur, where she married King Subar Khan and lived happily ever after. The tale of Imani and Kupti is an empowering story for women. Imani creates her own fortune through intelligence, skill, and bold action, starting a business from almost nothing and transforming her life through sheer determination. Despite her success, she remains humble, kind, and true to her values, proving that greatness is not defined by social status but by character and effort. In contrast, Kupti's jealousy and entitlement show how pride destroys what privilege alone cannot uphold. Together, their story reminds us that strength, wisdom, and compassion are the foundations of true success, and that a woman's brilliance can reshape destiny itself.
What did you think of today's story? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more tales from around the world. If there's a story you'd love to hear next, share it with us below.